Okay, so the whole Autumn Jordan is controversial issue is simply that I assert my opinions in the spaces I enter. Because why are we sitting on a call to just be in silence? I don't get that. So I assert my opinions and I use colorful language and people think I hate everybody. I express a point of view in the theater that I direct and suddenly I'm enemy number one. I don't hate men. I don't hate rappers. And I don't hate white people. I have plenty of white friends. Like 2. Hey, how's my favorite white boy doing? Oh yeah, I got the script you sent. I am opening it right now. You know, I don't usually give critiques in real time. What I do hate is repeating myself, and I feel like I say this all the time. I don't hate the literal people. I just hate everything that they do. That's what Rusty Chain was all about. The chain isn't men. The chain is patriarchy. Duh. Okay, so I'm looking at the synopsis. Okay, love story. So it's 2 characters, artists. So the successful filmmaker writes a piece about the girl and doesn't credit her, and then leaves her out of the process. And then they just fight a lot. That don't sound familiar to y'all? I'm tweaking? Or am I just the most interesting shorty on the planet that everybody wanna write about me? Yeah, Sam, I'm still here, going to the actual pages now. Oh, they're black artists. Nigga. Who wrote you wrote nigga? Okay, I have 1 white friend.
Hey y'all, I've been thinking about our conversation yesterday and ways we can move forward. We only have a day left before we present our reading, and we need to focus if we're going to get this show picked up. I have an idea.
And it is?
We should write letters to each other.
What, Ayanna?
No, I'm serious. I was thinking, what if we just voice all our grievances and then shared them with each other? We could clear the air.
Like a kumbaya circle or something?
I mean, there's clearly stuff we need to say to each other. I'm down.
Autumn?
If it'll help the piece. Okay.
There we go. See y'all tomorrow with our letters. Good morning.
Hi.
Yo.
How did everyone's letter writing go? I thought of the idea to write letters, so I'll go first. So, I'll start by addressing you, Jaucqir. Dear Jaucqir, working with you on FIDA was an experience I will always be grateful for. It jump-started my career. It got me in the room today. I can't deny you that. But if not for Autumn, you wouldn't be in this room either. You used information that she confided in for your senior thesis without even telling her. And then you casted me in the show without even telling me. I feel like you took advantage of me. But it's not about me. It's Autumn's story. And she should have been the one to tell it. Dear Autumn, I apologized before, but I want to say it again. I had no idea that they used your real life story for their show. I am so sorry I was ever involved, but I feel like you haven't made this process easy either. I wasn't aware of your previous history with Jaucqir, but you let it affect almost every aspect of developing this show. This whole process has been difficult, but Not just because of the beef with you two, also because of ALT and Liz Vernon. I still think about her email. I still think about how I feel like a puppet in this system when I no longer want to be. Our stories are not too extreme, and what's so wrong with a show about Black power? Since getting that email, it's got me thinking about the type of Black artist I want to be. And I no longer want to let theaters like ALT pull my strings. So, what y'all think?
Well, I first want to say thank you for your honesty. I am really glad that you felt comfortable enough to share that with us.
I'm glad you listened.
And I want to say I'm sorry for making this process more difficult for you. It should have been my number one priority to create an environment that everyone was comfortable in.
Right. Thank you, Ayanna, for sharing that. Just want to say that. I also want to say that I'm sorry to you, Ayanna, but also to you, Autumn. I realize I haven't actually said that before, so I'm sorry. Yeah. Autumn, could you actually share your letter and then I'll share mine?
Sure. Dear Jaucqir and Ayanna. Jaucqir. Our senior year of undergrad, we became very close. So close that I shared some of my deepest traumas with you, stories that I wouldn't even spare for the vulnerability unit in acting class. Stories I shared with you because I thought one day you would be my partner in turning those stories into art. Art that would heal me. Instead, the wounds have only grown deeper. You made light of one of the darkest points in my life. Why? In the pursuit of making art that would heal me, I have tried experimental projects with strangers in cities that don't care if I exist at all. And every day, I thought about the dreams we all had, the plans we all made that never came to fruition because of a business that likes their tokens spread out. I had hoped that the opportunity to come back to where it all began would give me answers. But I'm left wondering if the theater that will heal me can be made here at all.
Wow.
Thank you for sharing that. I'm sorry that our friendship became something you needed to heal from.
Thank you.
Dear Autumn and Ayanna, I don't know where to begin. I wish I could talk about my feelings. Talk about how this sucks. It sucks to realize that any shred of notoriety I've been given has been because I hurt a friend that was once dear to me. And that friend could still be dear to me if I hadn't been so selfish. And then I remember I am being selfish. It's selfish to talk about my feelings because I never considered yours. I didn't think about your feelings, Autumn, when I wrote Fetal. And I didn't think about your feelings, Ayanna, when I made you complicit in that betrayal. I am a person motivated by desire, and I want so deeply to be an artist. And not just any artist, a good artist. A passionate artist who values their community and the relationships they've built. And I used to be that artist. But then I became focused on doing what I needed to do and not what I wanted to. I saw the off-Broadway production of Fetal and the awards that came with it. I saw this production at ALT. I saw climbing up the ranks. I used to be the artist of my dreams, but I've turned into theirs.
And here I thought you just turned into a greedy asshole.
Like,
This is so fucked. We are so fucked.
I don't think we're fucked. I just think the relationship's going to take a lot of work to mend.
But I don't know that we should mend.
What do you mean?
Like, I don't think our focus should be trying to fix this dynamic. Like, I think it's beyond our interpersonal issues.
But how are we supposed to work together successfully? Write letters every week and sit in a sharing circle?
Okay, the letters were cute, but that's doing too much.
No, y'all are missing my point. Listen to what we all said. I no longer want theaters like ALT to pull my strings. I'm left wondering if the theater that will heal me can be made here at all. And I used to be the artist of my dreams, and now I've turned into theirs.
Whoa.
Okay. So what do y'all think?
I'm thinking, let's leave.
Leave where?
Here, Atlantic Line Theater. Let's leave and take the piece somewhere else.
Even if you were considering that, which I don't think I am, why?
Yeah, I'm very curious.
Because it's all about the space. We can't figure out how to fix this reality because we're ignoring everything around us that made it what it is, right?
Like, we beefing because I needed to get into this space, and being here is only exacerbating the problem.
So we have to get the fuck out of here.
Okay, get out of here and go where? All these theaters operate the same way. They got the same old-ass structures they had when they were founded.
Okay, true. So let's take New Vanguard up on their offer.
Ooh, so I don't actually know if that offer is still available.
Okay, then we'll perform the piece somewhere else by ourselves. The point is that being here is not helping our situation at all.
I don't know. I appreciate the zeal, but it's only 3 of us. All it's going to do is make us look unprofessional.
Professional or catering to white expectations?
Okay. So what? We're leaving? We're just going to stop doing this piece and go beg NVT to let us in?
No, you're still missing my point. It's not about ALT or NVT or any other stage. It's about the ways we create theater. It's about the resources we have access to, and it's about who we're making theater for. Ourselves, our communities, or donors.
God, remember when we used to talk about opening a theater right around the corner from campus so our friends wouldn't have to ride the train for an hour to come see us in the show?
Then we were gonna build in that food pantry idea from our theater and business class to do like actual community engagement.
And those were our ideas. If we can create something together, we can get where we need to be.
Like the village.
Huh?
Like the one Amari describes in the script. In that moment, we saw each other for the first time. Not just as people, as a village.
Right. I looked around and saw all that could be. A village of nomads traveling towards their promise, leaning on each other to weather the storm.
Y'all are so corny.
I think it's beautiful.
Thank you, Ayanna.
Hey viewers, welcome back to the live virtual watch party. My name is Ayanna Winford. My pronouns are she, her.
I'm Autumn Jordan, and I use she, her pronouns.
And I'm Jaucqir DuPont. I go by they, them pronouns.
We just got done watching our virtual play, What Lies Ahead.
Thank you for streaming it with us. And if you're just tuning in, we are about to start our live Q&A. So if you have questions, feel free to drop them in the chat, and we will answer them in real time.
Should we give a little backstory?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, so What Lies Ahead is based on a true story. The 3 of us were hired by a theater a year ago to produce my play, Workin' Girl, the re-education of Aunt Jemima's niece, and, well, you all saw what happened next.
So we did end up leaving Atlantic Line, wink, wink, but not to produce Working Girl.
Instead, we co-wrote What Lies Ahead to tell our story ourselves. And now we finna take y'all questions. So I'll start. Okay. From Writer Girl 215. Hey, Mom. Dear Autumn, you had very strong opinions about Jaucqir's writing in the play. What makes a good show? Well, specificity of experience. Working Girl was bad writing. It was a bad play.
All right.
I mean, it's okay because you know that now. And it was for two big reasons. One, when you write what you know, you can get into the details and nuance of the story. Specificity of experience. I feel like people shy away from that because they're worried that their stories aren't good enough, but they are.
Yeah, I like that. Everybody has their own story to tell and their own way of telling it.
Yeah, and two, my philosophy is that great theater can't be made alone. That's why writers have editors and dramaturgs and directors and all that.
Right.
But which people are in the room matters. With Liz, the conversation is, how do we make this palatable to our audiences? With people close to the experience, the conversation can be, how do we make this unique story about Black womanhood stronger and clearer? And honestly, more entertaining.
All right, we get it.
Okay, me next. At Tyler the Destroyer 6 asks, Ayanna, if you could say one thing to Liz Vernon, what would it be? I'm going to keep it professional and just say, actually, to hell with professionalism. I would tell Liz to take her head out of her ass. It's already crowded in there.
Okay. Oh, here's a good question. Mary Z63 wants to know, what kind of theater excites me? Oh, it's a good question. The kind of theater that excites me is the kind of theater that reminds me what it is to be alive.
What do you mean?
Like, the kind of theater that makes me gasp. Give me death, give me sex, give me violence, give me laughs, give me drama. I want to walk into a theater and watch something so good that it makes me want to go to a cattle call just to be on stage again, or listen to some writing that is so well done that I go home and delete all my scripts because I'm inspired to try something new. Real, lively, new theater excites me.
You always trying to kill somebody on stage.
And what about it? Oh, here's a brilliant question from @YPTDC. What lies ahead takes us into the future. What is the future of the field? Ayanna, you want to go first?
Yeah. The future of the field has to and will look more diverse. And I'm not just talking about race. I'm not talking about casting. I'm talking about the stories we see. Life is continuously bustling with stories, experiences, trials, and lessons. And it's upsetting that we only get to see one particular lens on stage or even in film.
Yes. And emphasis on not just casting and not just hiring BIPOC staff for equity and diversity initiatives. Like, okay, remember in Alice in Wonderland, the Red Queen wanted red roses, but they just kept growing white. So the gardeners kept painting over them with red paint. Why didn't they just dig up the roses and plant new seeds? The future of the field is not necessarily food pantries or on-campus theaters or even interactive watch parties. It's recognizing that it can be all of those things if we stop painting over our problems and plant new seeds.
The future of the field, to me, is a place where artists can be artists, where someone can go, I want to be an actor, or I want to be a storyteller, and then they can just do that. They don't have to worry about knowing their type or sleazy networking or looking fuckable to impress 50-year-old casting directors.
Amen.
The future of the field is one of opportunity and access, one where you're more excited than anxious to audition, where you're more energized than exhausted to perform. It's a field where actors are embraced and welcomed, not ushered in like livestock.
And that is period.
But really, the future of the field is our ability to have these conversations at all. What's exciting is we're not the only ones who have these ideas and want to make these changes, right? So, let's make them.
Would anybody like to share some or all of what they've written?
I can go.
Cool. Okay, we'll do Ayanna, then Jaucqir. Thank y'all.
This Silence is Violence devising process has been interesting, creative, needed, a little stressful, eye-opening, a stress reliever. I've devised theater before, but obviously not in a format like this through Zoom boxes. I actually hate Zoom. The moment I'm done with classes in May, I'm deleting it from my life and never looking back. But I love theater. I hate that because of Corona, I can't do theater the way I want, on stage, in front of people, with people. I realize that I hate that I can't even go and watch theater anymore. It's also been, what's that word? Jaucqir and Autumn are both in different classes than mine, and rarely do different fine arts classes get to mingle with each other unless we make that effort. So I'm appreciative, that's the word, that I have had this experience and get to have this experience with them both.
Thank you for sharing that, Ayanna. You ready, Jaucqir?
Yeah, that was cute, Ayanna. Thank you. This Silence is Violence devising process has been cool, really cool. Like, whoa, I'm a writer, cool. I spent a lot of time in the past few years imagining myself in this career where I write and star in my own shows. I daydream a lot. One moment I'm a rock star, and the next I'm the most brilliant professor in town. I always come back to this particular dream, though, this dream right now. Getting to write for myself with people I admire and trust, getting to work with professional theater and reach a wider audience. I'm used to being seen, but there's something that feels so permanent about this project, permanent and relevant, and personal. When you develop a reputation for playing characters that other people wrote, people begin to see you as an amalgamation of your roles. This character, this project, belongs to no one else. It's almost as though I get to reintroduce myself to people. Well, I say reintroduce, but really, people are meeting me for the first time, and it's all through my writing.
That's beautiful. Thank you. Do you feel like sharing today, Autumn?
Yeah, I can share. This Silence is Violence devising process has been healing. It's been what I've always imagined writing and collaborating is supposed to feel like. It is session agreements manufactured in other theater spaces, brought to life and done in earnest. And then there's like different examples, like one mic. We always speak and we always listen. I've never felt like someone wasn't paying attention to me. And I've always felt like the entire group has cared about what I've had to say. And then I wrote that might just be this dynamic. And then there's a couple more bullets and then I go. It is never feeling like something I've created or something I've thought is good or bad or right or wrong or useful or useless, but just something I've created, and that is new to me. It has made me more confident in my writing. At the beginning, I was worried I kept creating throwaway pieces, like the poems I was writing were missing the point or not meeting the lesson plan. But discussing the work in the format that we have has made me realize my brain works, and it's always working, and it works well. So I leave each session feeling better than how I entered it, and that's new and that's great.
Thank you all. I appreciate just all of the reflections and how specific they are. Like, this is a process that I was definitely apprehensive about because of the fact that it's virtual. And one of the things I'm so happy about, even though I'm like a softie, so I'm like tearing up because I'm like, yes, I love my job, and this is like my favorite part of my job. And doing this process with y'all has sparked what I used to feel being able to go into work and do productions, and I haven't had that feeling since we've been home, because we had to postpone the last Silence is Violence 1 week into rehearsal, and we had like a 3-4 week devising process before that with the ensemble. So it was like something we were building such a great dynamic, and then just done, so I thank y'all for reigniting the passion that I have for my job. It's really special.